everyone, สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to the seminars of Thai InsurTech Fair 2021. My name is Prapapas Kulpawaropas, a Senior Director, Strategy and Risk Management Department, the Office of Insurance Commission Thailand. Today, I will be a moderator of these sections. This session will discuss on a very interesting topic, global trends, perspective on the future opportunities. Before we start, if you have any questions, please type your question in the chat box and we will respond if it's possible. Presently, there are several megatrends that are shaping our futures. Prominent ones are demographical and social shift, climate change, and of course, technological breakthroughs. To effectively cope with the incoming challenges and improve overall capabilities of the financial sector, not only business, but also the regulator need to adopt themselves to keep up with the ever-changing innovation and technologies. This panel discussion will provide you with the opportunities to learn and gain insight from the top regulators about the global trends impacting financial landscape, also with the major technology and innovation that widely used in our industry. And moreover, our panelists will discuss on their regulatory perspective and initiative to strengthen the financial sector and promote a utilizations of the technologies. Without further ado, let me introduce our honorable speakers. First, Ms. Siritida Panomwon Ayudhya, Assistant Governor, Payment System Policy and Financial Technology Group, Bank of Thailand, with over 25 years of experience in banking supervisions. She has been involved in many important projects, such as dealing with the resolutions and restructuring process during the financial crisis, set up Thailand's deposit insurance scheme. She was also involved in driving the national e-payment system and building the FinTech ecosystem in Thailand. Second, Mr. Daniel Wang, Executive Director, Insurance Department, Monetary Authority of Singapore or MAS. He is the head of the insurance department, regulating all insurance companies in Singapore and oversight policy formulations for the insurance sectors. He also served as the chairperson of the Singapore College Insurance and be the MAS representative at the international forums. Moreover, Mr. Wang is the incoming chairperson of ASEAN Insurance Regulators meetings and is the vice chair of the ASEAN Taxonomy Board. Last but not least, Mr. Tony Chan, Associate Director, Policy and Development, Insurance Authority Hong Kong. Mr. Chan is in charge of policy initiative in regulatory reforms, currently focusing on the development of risk-based capital regimes and facilitating on the development of the FinTech in Hong Kong. He has held several positions in several practices that made his span of his experience span all almost aspects in insurance regulations, such as prudential supervisions, formulating and proclamations of regulatory, and also liaison with the international and mainland regulatory authorities. Please welcome our distinguished speakers. Hello, everyone. All right, let's start with the first question to the insurance authorities of Hong Kong. Tony, could you please share your views on the future opportunities of our financial sector? What do you think are the major tech trends in Hong Kong?
Well, Hong Kong is not a big place, actually, but the insurance sector has a business model heavily relying on insurance intermediaries. So we have 120,000 insurance intermediaries, including agents and brokers. So that's translate about 3.3% of the working population of Hong Kong. So with individual insurance intermediaries being the dominant distributing channels by the insurance company, that has caused insurance products with high saving elements are being actively solicited by them. This has also caused a slower pace of technology adoption. So one of the key tasks of the insurance authority is to help local insurance companies to embrace technology and ensuring the continued competitiveness of the sector. First, we rolled out a fast-track initiative a few years ago to introduce virtual insurers, deploying digital distribution channel to outreach to underserved segments on simple, innovative, and protection insurance products. With the competition from virtual insurers, we see traditional insurers are also being pushed to embrace technology. We are seeing an increasing number of insurers using innovative technologies to sell online insurance and offer products with simple structure and high protection coverage. So InsurTech solutions are also deployed in all different parts of the value chain and bring cost efficiency advantages by simplifying manual procedures, create room for innovation across different products, and meet evolving customer expectations. The emergence of virtual insurers and digital distribution channels have also shown how InsurTech could help the industry in overcoming limitations on physical interaction and changing customer preference for digital brought about by COVID. With our ongoing work to promote InsurTech, we find that the market situation is changing. The industry now recognizes that it needs to step up its efforts to seize the potential brought by the InsurTech adoption. We believe that InsurTech could bring the industry with many opportunities, as it could inject a wave of positive disruption by penetrating underserved segments and meeting hidden demands, as well as revamping the product mix to cope with rapid demographic changes. This will ultimately narrow the protection gaps, promote financial inclusion, and enhance financial connectivity. Taking the opportunity that insurers are changing their mindsets in their pace of investments in InsurTech, we conduct a survey among the insurers and found that the majority of insurers indicated that they would continue to invest in technology over the next 3 years. This shows that the pace of technology adoption is accelerating as insurers seek to streamline business processes and reduce operational costs. The most popular technologies deployed by our insurers are API and RegTech and cloud computing. We also see that there is a convergence of opinion on the importance of open APIs for system interface and data exchange, which could create an environment conducive to innovation and improved services. One of the key benefits of effective implementation of the open API is to facilitate the sharing of data within and outside the insurance industry, which encourage co-development and seamless delivery of insurance service by insurers and other market participants, and ultimately can give rise to a more vibrant InsurTech ecosystem. The advantage is more obvious when viewed in the context of integration among the cities located in the Greater Bay Area of China. We are also excited to see more InsurTech startups emerge in Hong Kong. Actually, a number of InsurTech startups have approached us to explore potential application of their InsurTech initiatives. The potential applications of InsurTech are wide-ranging and cover almost the full spectrum of the insurance value chain, which include product development, underwriting, distribution, policy administration, and claims management. In the coming years, we expect more partnerships between traditional insurers and technology companies to develop new products and services.
All right, thank you so much, Tony, for sharing such insightful information. InsurTech in Hong Kong is growing up. That's why Hong Kong is one of the countries that already issue a new license for 100% virtual insurer. This is a very interesting model. And of course, the coming of COVID-19 is making us like a pushing like a forwarding button that make everyone to adopt and use technology. We might not ready to use it, but we don't have another choice. So that's true. And the one thing that I like is that you say if the InsurTech creates a positive disruptions, or people that you to say like disruption gonna be like negative effect to the our financial sector, but your view is like in another ways around that it's create opportunity for like hidden demands and underserved. So I'm sure it's gonna be really important. And the next thing, open API is I think everyone could agree with that. The data is like a new voice, and the more data have quality and link each other, it's going to be the use and sharing of data will be more benefit to our sectors. Thank you. So now let's move to the MAS. Daniel, could you please share with us what are the emerging technology in the insurance sector? I heard that MAS has been working on several initiatives and key paths with the digital and technological transformation. So what are those projects that you're working on, Daniel?
Yes, thanks, Kun Poppy. But before I answer the question, I just want to appreciate and thank the Office of the Insurance Commission of Thailand for inviting me here, and just a warm welcome to everyone. So Tony has focused his remarks on the InsurTech scene in Hong Kong. And maybe I'll shift gears a bit to share about some of the developments, not only in Singapore, but about the digitalization and technological developments among mainstream insurers. So one of the unmistakable trends in the insurance sector is the increasing use of alternative or big data, as well as the use of artificial intelligence or machine learning, or as I call it, AI/ML for short. This has brought benefits and efficiencies for the insurer and their customers. For example, it is helping to sharpen insurers' underwriting processes. Some insurers today are applying AI to expedite the underwriting process. Using an intelligent rule engine, insurers and reinsurers can define the criteria on acceptable risks so that the model can automatically adjudicate and accept certain insurance applications immediately. It has enhanced fraud detection and accelerated claims processes for customers. AI-augmented decision-making process have allowed insurers to increase the efficiency of personal accident claims processes. Using an AI application, insurers are able to quickly process claims that are categorized as low risk, freeing up resources to investigate claims that are more complex or are flagged as higher risk. MAS has provided, like many banking and insurance regulators recently, an initial set of regulatory responses on the use of AI and ML. We have observed alignment internationally in these approaches. Most of the regulatory responses to date have been in the form of providing guiding principles on the use of AI and ML. For example, in Singapore, MAS and the financial services industry co-created a set of principles-based guidance on the responsible use of artificial intelligence and data analytics, or AIDA, in financial services. The principles provide guidance to promote fairness, ethics, accountability, and transparency, FEANT, in the use of AIDA. Regulators are now looking at moving beyond principles and guidance and drafting proposals that regulate the use of AI. For instance, the European Commission has published proposed risk-based regulations on AI in April 2021. Some AI technologies, such as services that uses subliminal techniques to manipulate customers, will be banned outright. Services that are considered as high risk, such as facial recognition and credit scoring, under the European regulations, would be subject to stricter rules on transparency and data quality. At the MAS, we will continue to provide guidance and clarity on the implementation of the FEAT principles. We are partnering our financial institutions to develop assessment methodologies for each principle by evaluating financial institutions' actual use cases of AI and data analytics-driven solutions. As technology evolves and the challenges and complexity presented by AI deepens, our regulatory approach must also keep in step. As such, MAS will continue to assess whether there is a need to move beyond principles and into codifying our expectations into regulations. This would be very similar to our approach on ratcheting up our expectations and requirements on an FI's capabilities in cybersecurity over the years. Nevertheless, it should be recognized that regulators cannot and should not develop new regulations on AI in a silo or adopt a one-size-fits-all approach, especially since AI solutions are often designed and implemented for very specific use cases. For instance, this could mean an insurer tailoring an AI model to suit the local context, or conversely, to design an AI model that can be deployed and scaled globally. So to this end, MES, we are fully supportive of international regulatory initiatives to deepen our collective understanding of AI modeling implications for conduct and prudential risks. We believe that an continued exchange of views and experiences at the international level, such as the IAIS FinTech Forum, would help to enrich our collective perspectives under current regulatory standards, whether these are sufficient or not, or if the ICP standards need to be updated to more precisely address AI/ML risks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I think from now on, the audience must be understand that in the past, there's someone said that the insurance sector is the slowest sector that adopt technology. But I think right now people say it's not true at all. Because of you see in Hong Kong and in Singapore, we are very eagerly to adopt. And also a regulator like the MAS have a clear rules of the use of the technology, especially on AI, because of I'm sure that in the next couple of years or even in the next years, AI and machine learning going to be a key technology that we widely used in financial sectors for both banking and insurance sector. And I think the key thing is the supervisions. It should be integrated and should be comprehensive and also concerned about credentials and customer protection. So it's going to be really good. So now it's time to hear from the Bank of Thailand, Siritida. In the past couple of years, we have seen significant technological advancement and adoptions in Thai financial sector. One of the key achievements is the using of the QR code standard, which make mobile banking in Thailand very used among Thai people. And now we are moving toward to a cashless society. So what do you consider to be the most promising fintech trends in Thailand for years to come? Siritida.
Thank you, Kun Poppy, and good morning, everyone. In the past 4 years, we see several technological advancements that result in new financial innovation in many areas in Thailand, such as a prompt pay system. One of the examples is a development of a fast payment system infrastructure that called prompt pay. I think that everyone is quite familiar of this name. This prompt pay system help promote financial inclusion to a broader segment of our customer. Because of its convenient and low cost, it has gained a massive adoption in such a short period of time, resulting in many enhancement services on prompt pay system, such as cross-bank bill payment, QR code standard for payment, as you mentioned, and a request to pay. Especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, customer behavior have obviously changed from offline to online activity, attracting even more new idea for payment innovation. Moreover, government use prompt pay as a primary channel for providing social welfare or relief stimulus program during this unprecedented time. We can say that until now, more than half of our population registered in prompt pay system. And for capital market, the initiation of a digital infrastructure project, which is the key milestone for the Thai capital market to uplift end-to-end process of financial and investment transaction. And for insurance sector, we have seen the regulator, OIC, our host today, bring technology to real innovation such as AI for 3D images to improve claim processing time, right? Or machine learning to have a better understanding of customer behavior. And moreover, a Bank of Thailand, together with commercial banks, FinTech firm, and business sector, has adopted a new technology to provide a wider range of financial service, such as using blockchain technology for letter of guarantee, bank statement validation, and fund transfer, or using a biometric for facial recognition to help increase the efficiency and accuracy of a KYC process, supporting a non-face-to-face financial transaction. And in the near future, promoting an critical and inclusive digital infrastructure and ecosystem is very essential to further support digital activities such as digital identity for corporate verification, which will enhance efficiency and security on non-face-to-face business transaction, digital signature, electronic consent management, digital trade platform, and also big data development. Last but not least, the development of a digital currency, including central bank digital currency for both wholesale and retail purpose, to increase efficiency and support new financial innovation. All of the aforementioned projects share the common goal of paving the path of Thailand digital economy and to ensure the sustainability of the financial system and the country as a whole.
Thank you so much, Khun Siritida, to share us what is your in the mindset and on the milestones of the Bank of Thailand. So for now, I'm sure that we clearly see the major FinTech and InsurTech trend in our regions, and it could not be denied that the technology and innovations better off our industry and our people in many ways. So the next question that pop up in my mind is how can we as a financial regulator to respond, support, and regulate those technologies. So let's ask Daniel. As we know that Singapore is one of the best in FinTech innovation hub, please share with us about the Singapore perspective on developing a national digital infrastructure to facilitate innovations.
Yeah, thanks, Kulpawaropas. So at the MAS, our aim is to foster and create a financial system where innovation is pervasive and technology is used widely to do four things. One, to increase efficiency, create new opportunities, certainly also to manage risk better, and I would say fourth and most importantly, to improve the lives of our people. So we have consciously brought together the public and private sectors to co-create foundational digital infrastructures. This means that interoperability is a key consideration from the get-go, and access to these digital services can be made available to all individuals and businesses in Singapore in a seamless manner. So by developing such foundational digital infrastructures, and I'll give some examples very shortly, we hope that it will facilitate the development of more use cases of end-to-end digital transactions that will enhance efficiencies and as I mentioned, to improve the lives of citizens here. So I'll just give two examples. So MAS, we worked with other government agencies to develop Singapore's National Digital Identity System. So this allows Singaporeans a fast and secure way to authenticate themselves in order to transact digitally with the government and with the private sector, including financial institutions. Singaporeans can make available their verified personal information to be accessed by an insurer. Insurers, in turn, rely on this verified identity and information to issue new insurance policies or renew existing ones without the need for paper documentation or physical presence to present such information. Obviously, this has become much more relevant and timely because of the pandemic-related movement restrictions in the last 2 years. Another example, MES, we collaborated with government agencies and the financial institutions to develop what we call the Singapore Financial Data Exchange. This data exchange currently allows individuals to access their banking information, deposits, data, credit cards, loan information from all major banks in Singapore on a single portal, together with their information from government agencies, such as Singaporean citizens' social security numbers. So in the next phase, individuals will be able to access information of their insurance policies and their stock holdings that are held in the central depository. Singaporeans can leverage on this data exchange to seamlessly consolidate their financial information to better understand their financial health, and we hope to make holistic financial planning decisions.
All right, that's very interesting and fascinating. I think it could not it clearly see that right now people use more online transactions, and the digital ID is essential thing that has to happen. Otherwise, we cannot do any significant financial transaction. So I really believe on the MAS for paving the way toward the Singapore national digital ID. I'm sure that in Hong Kong and in Bank of Thailand, and also moving forward to the directions as well. And also, I think the one the highlight things that the way you create the infrastructure in Singapore is not just only for the regulatory bodies or government itself, but it's kind of integrating and co-creating among MAS and the private sector and also other agency government, which is more comprehensive and a good infrastructure for sure. And also about the data exchange, that I said earlier, that data is very offensive. It's a good RA. So the more you create a good qualities of data, and the more you share and you link each other, the more you set and utilize the data. All right. So next, I would like to ask Tony. As we have discussed about impact of COVID-19, I would like to stress more have we seen that the COVID-19 have caused people to avoid physical contact and rely heavily on online transactions. So we could see that all market players are accelerating to adopt new technologies to maintain their operations and customer engagement. So in your opinions, what are key lessons learned from these situations, and what do you see in the terms of applications of technology in the market, and what were the AI approach during this pandemic crisis? Tony.
Yes, thanks, Poppy. So as I mentioned earlier, in Hong Kong there exists a structural imbalance which the life insurance market is skewed towards the reliance on business sold to mainland visitors and towards the insurance products with significant savings and investment elements. The selling of these types of products are typically conducted via face-to-face interactions. So therefore, the restricted cross-boundary travel and social distancing requirements brought by COVID have put severe impact on insurance selling activities in Hong Kong. Accordingly, the industry and we have learned that there is a need to foster a diversified and sustainable market, taking the opportunity that we have adopted a three-pronged strategy with the help of InsurTech to lead the industry through this difficult time of the pandemic. First, we introduced a set of temporary facilitative measures which allow insurers and insurance intermediaries to distribute specified insurance products which are typically protective in nature without physical interaction, of course subject to enhanced upfront disclosure requirements and a longer period of cooling off. The temporary facilitative measures are calibrated to induce insurers to shift focus towards protection products catering for local residents. We are witnessing some positive responses with insurers revamping their product mix to ride on the rising awareness of personal exposure to risks, redirecting attention to address social needs on retirement and healthcare, as well as adopting the technology to enable virtual onboarding. As the result of the TFM are encouraging, the industry would like to see the TFM could be set as a permanent measure. So to meet this expectation, we come up with our second strategy, which is to encourage insurers to conduct trial of their application of InsurTech through our InsurTech Sandbox. This will enable insurers to conduct virtual onboarding for a wider array of products that go beyond those covered by the TFMs. So our third strategy is that we are also mindful that while the large insurers can have sufficient resources to build their own virtual onboarding platform, small and medium-sized insurers generally have limited resources to build their own platform. So we facilitate the Hong Kong Federation of Insurers, which is an industry body of Hong Kong, to launch a shared virtual onboarding platform for insurers, especially for small and medium-sized insurers. This common platform shows the potential of resource sharing and leads to a healthier competition in the market and increased popularity of remote onboarding. In addition to the three-pronged strategy that I have mentioned, we have also taken the opportunity to promote RegTech. We encourage insurers to leverage technology to meet regulatory requirements and encourage insurance intermediaries to participate in e-learning activities, so such as using the online learning platform for attending their continuing professional development, the CPD requirements. These measures have successfully helped the industry to adopt technology to a new level and promote a healthy and sustainable development of the insurance market in the longer term. So with the rapid development of the digital economy, businesses and people are embracing technology and information moves between different parties. We all know data will be vital to the future of the financial sector. For the IA, we believe data infrastructure is the building block of the digital economy. One of the most important areas for improvement in our digital infrastructure is the development of a robust data infrastructure that allows us to effectively capture and organize the financial data from the industry and keep the data accessible, accurate, and ready for analysis. As a regulator and a facilitator of the industry's sustainable development, we will continue to actively promote open data and encourage the industry to use technology and big data to drive product innovation. Currently, we are exploring to develop an open APIs framework to enable greater collaboration among insurers, third-party service providers, and regulators. The framework is proposed to cover approach for setting technical standards and possible facilitative infrastructures. The facilitative infrastructures might include develop a repository to serve as a resource center on open API for interest third-party service providers, and we could insurers to provide sample or testing codes and sandboxes. Of course, all those are putting on the live testing environment so as to assist the first service provider in using the open API. We will also promote the adoption of RegTech and SupTech. For example, we are developing a comprehensive IT strategy within the IA to map out a backbone of infrastructure necessary to meet future needs and embrace the latest frontiers on development of supervisory technology for macro surveillance. We will capitalize on the implementation of our future risk-based capital regime to build a centralized data collection portal for e-submissions of statistical data and regulatory filings to cut down manual comparisons. Machine learning and artificial intelligence assisted analytics could also become essential supervisory tools. We also see more and more insurers adopting InsurTech across many different aspects, including the ESG. For example, we see an insurer is taking a new approach to integrating ESG elements into its underwriting of group employee benefits policy, creating ESG value for its policyholders, with premium savings as incentives. We will facilitate the insurance market to move towards the goal of sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. The first thing I think that the way you respond to the COVID-19 is must be very responsive and effective. Otherwise, the industry won't ask for your temporary measure to be a permanent one. That means it's really, really effective. And I think the good point is like the measure is used to handle with the certain impacts of the COVID-19, which is the business continuity and the customer engagement maintenance is very important. But in the meanwhile, that creating a sandbox or many like infrastructure sharing platforms will help a lot in the long run for our market player to shift their business model and adopt more technology. And the one to say one thing is very interesting about like not only like we encourage the industry to use technology, but our regulator itself, we have to use technology as well. So SupTech is another keyword that we have to mention in work mentioned for right now, that not just us have to just use technology as a supervisory tool as well. And another thing about ESG, I'm sure that is the hot topic for all financial sector, Bank of Thailand or even MAS, we all talking about this area and have like certain regime to support this area to encourage our market player to embrace more ESG to their business models. So thank you so much. So now, what about Thailand? Kun Siritida, please share your views on how Bank of Thailand strengthen the financial landscape through the adoption of technologies, and what steps have Thailand has been taking to improve the country's digital infrastructure? Kun Siritida.
As the regulator and policymaker, we have to be more open and clear that in the future world of finance, things can be more complicated, more interconnectedness, and are changing so fast. Innovation is needed to better serve public interest and enhance efficiency, competitiveness in the financial system. And in doing so, innovation can really challenge existing rules and cause them to adapt. The principle of supervisory framework in having balance between stability and innovation may have to shift to maybe resiliency in the sense of be more open, more proactive, and more flexible and more collaboration. While existing regulation cannot be changed to support new innovation quickly, one of the tools and mechanisms such as a regulatory sandbox can apply to help regulators early engage in new innovative service and product and understand new associated risks, which later lead to an appropriate regulatory improvement to fit with emerging risks. A regulatory sandbox allow financial service to provide service provider to do like a innovative product testing on real environment with limited scope. The mechanism help reduce time to market for innovation development, help regulators to understand more about new emerging risks of innovation, as well as an opportunity for cooperation between banks, non-banks, fintech firms, and also business sector. They will understand more on both a regulator perspective and business development angle. The experience gained from working closely with our service provider and on regulatory sandbox have been put together and shaped into several policy guidelines for industry, such as blockchain guideline, biometric guideline, QR code standard, payment guideline, and we're going to issue like an API standard guideline and more to come. And this is the benefit of having the regulatory sandbox as a tool. And moving toward the digital economy, Thailand needs to develop a critical digital infrastructure as the backbone for the public and private sector, allowing them to share infrastructure to support innovation with less cost and more convenient. In the area of digital finance, the first development was in the payment area, as we already have PromptPay infrastructure that support a retail real-time fund transfer. But we still need more digital platform that facilitate digital trade and payment for businesses. And currently, the Bank of Thailand, with collaboration of all stakeholders, including financial industry, businesses, and public sector, is working on the development of another digital infrastructure called Smart Financial and Payment Infrastructure for businesses. Moreover, digital corporate identity, digital finance infrastructure to support digital financial transaction are also the critical. And in developing this digital infrastructure, three key principles we call 3O should be applied. Firstly, open infrastructure, that is the digital infrastructure must allow service provider that meet criteria and necessary standard to join and benefit from sharing infrastructure, which can reduce cost and improve potential of scalability. Secondly, open data. I think that everyone mentioned about data. Data is an extremely important resource. So we need to utilize data more efficiently to benefit the people who are the owner of those data and benefit service provider for developing more innovation that serve customer needs. For example, data from e-commerce transaction on an online platform can be used as a digital footprint which help customer to access alternative funding and serve regulator and public sector for better service and better risk management and also policy regulation improvement later on. And lastly, open competition. Currently, there are a wide variety of new players, including non-bank service provider and fintech firm, offering several financial products. The supportive environment will encourage new innovation that will suit the need of customer. Also, effective and flexible regulation can play a part of creating a level of playing field also. And last but not least, enhancing cybersecurity, personal data protection, law and regulation improvement are also the area that we have to work in parallel. I think that this is what we have to do. So many things.
Thank you so much, Khun Siritida, for sharing like an insightful and perspective from the Bank of Thailand. And the concept of 3O is very interesting, and I think it's on the right way that to like encourage like open infrastructure and of course like open data. That is about the API is the keyword that we have been talking several times during session. So yeah, it could not agree more that data is very extremely essential and data infrastructure is a must for a regulator. And open competition is interesting because of like it's not just like good efficiency for the individual or single service provider itself, but we have to look like in overall competitiveness of the system as well. And the cybersecurity is a thing that it's worth mentioning, that it's come highly important together with the using the more technology. So I think it's very interesting, and right now I'm sure that the audience will see like like what the things that the regulator providing for the player, and don't have to worry that whatever this model they want to do or with whatever they want to try. I think that the regulation guideline and every facility that the regulator provided for them must be sure that allow them to test anything that they want. Thank you so much for Kun Siritida, Kun Tony, Kun Danny, and Daniel. It's just a great, interesting sections. I'm sure that today we have learned and understand how financial regulator has been working so hard and prepare everything in very a lot to stimulate the use of technology and develop essential infrastructures. And it's quite clear that it's very exciting to see in the next couple of, I would say in the next couple of years, let's see in the next year that it's going to be new things that happen in our financial sector for sure. So yeah, it is very good, and we hope that these sections will be benefit to you all, and I hope that the audience will get something and key takeaway from these sections and clearly see what is the directions of the regulatory supervision and how we support and the utilizations of technology. So thank you for joining us today, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the seminar session. Goodbye. สวัสดีค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.